Yeah, I'm looking forward to next week. It'll be fun.
Yep, absolutely.
So,
It's that thing where it doesn't matter what happens, it will be fun. It could be the greatest expansion announcement we've ever seen, fun. It could be the worst, also fun. Anywhere in the middle, I think people would find ways to make it fun. But also, I don't want to say like I'm super hyper excited because it's just an expansion announcement, but it's kind of like a big pivoting turning point in my opinion of the devs.
yeah. I am excited.
Yeah,
no, I don't know why. It happens. It wells up in you. Yeah, man. Okay, so in a move that is absolutely, thoroughly, in no way connected to World of Warcraft Dragonflight TM, pre-purchase the Duloc Super Mega Heroic Edition soon. We do have encrypted back pieces, 5 of them, and they're not on the 9.2.5 PTR. They're on the 9.2 live retail build, right? Which,
yeah.
I mean, kind of just means they pop the encryption key and these things will be decrypted.
Yeah, and then we can buy them.
Golly, I wonder if that'll have anything to do with a few days' time. Yes. Right. They have added 5 new encrypted 3D back pieces. How many Dragonflights are there?
Let me think. There's the red, the blue, the green, the black, and the bronze, and the twilights, and the infinites, and the chromatic. So there's 8.
Of Dragonflights that are actually Dragonflights, there are 5.
Yeah.
So, obviously,
Yeah.
right? These are probably inspired by the Murloc backpack.
Yeah.
And they'll just have a dragon whelp.
Yeah, there's a lot of at least one person on Twitter is rationalized that based on like information on file size and stuff like that. So almost certainly whelps. But
Yeah. Another very interesting thing is, well, the encryption key. That's also an interesting thing. But anyway, right, so these, we don't know if they are dragon themed, but what comes in 5s? I don't know, maybe it's the 5 keys that light the master, or open the door, and the 5 torches that unlock the master's path. Remember all that.
Or
The 5s. There, the keys are a pre-order bonus.
Well, I mean, obviously you're talking about the 5 torches light the way. The 5 sigils, maybe? Was it? That's it? We're going to have like floating covenant sigils on our back?
That is what I call epic.
Indeed.
But hey, that whole 5 bing bongs that light the way of the dudes, that old prophecy thing.
Yeah.
I mean, what if that is the firstest ones? What if that is the thing that the Chuckler was very worried about, as we found out the Death Cinematic? Wouldn't that be something?
Indeed.
Yes, but let's not do lore theories for now. Anyway, then Samaya pointed out, it looks like there are 2 different models of the backpack, each with 5 colors, all encrypted, not just one. Who knows what it could be? Technically 10 backpacks if you count in the recolors. The other thing pointed out, this has the same encryption key as the one that gives you the asset labeled 9FX Drake Mount Emerald buff.
Yep.
Huh. Matt, could that be a pre-order dragon?
I don't know. Is there any point in history they've announced an expansion and also a pre-order and also given you a mount and also given you a transmog set at the same time and also given you a boost? I don't know.
Shadowlands?
Indeed.
Yeah.
Yeah, in other words, the hello, it's a new quarter. Can we please have 100 quid each from all of you? Thank you very much. That'll look great for us.
AKA how to hack yourself to be able to saying we've got the fastest selling PC game of all time in day one. Because that's not day one sales. That's sales through to day one, including pre-orders.
Yeah.
And if we think about World of Warcraft, the business model, they have very much been doing a good job of driving pre-orders in the last while. So moving from Legion to BFA, we, of course, actually, even on Legion, you got early access as a Demon Hunter.
Oh, yeah, so you did, yeah.
But Legion to BFA, you would unlock the allied races that you'd already mostly earned in the game.
Yeah, because I absolutely, as soon as that happened, I pre-ordered BFA for the Life Force Journey, 100%.
Of course you did.
Bastards.
Yeah. So they did that for BFA. For Shadowlands, they immediately gave you like a mount and a transmog in-game. So it absolutely follows that these similar things will be going on.
Oh yeah, that's right. In Shadowlands, they didn't give you a transmog amount. They gave you a mount that gave you a quest that had you grind stuff out to get the transmog.
Yep. Now, Z, who is a developer who makes some really cool shit, said they did a bit of digging. The BLPs are 256 by 512 plus alpha, which is the same as the Murloc backpack. Mm-hmm. The M2 size is... Wait, what? Greater than equals a complex animation embedded? What?
Yeah, so it's saying
the skin file is 52 kilobytes, which is 2.5 times larger than the Covenant cloaks, but 0.9 times the size of the Murloc backpack. So that's basically saying that, compared to the Covenant cloak, this one is, way more complex, and it's similar to the Murloc backpack, which, I mean, look at the backpack, it's the amount of textures and animations and all that it has, it's a more complex thing. So, Baby Welt backpack.
Yep.
I think that's probably going to happen.
Yeah, and then the best thing to do is, this is just completely pure cynical. You have to pre-order. You get to pick one of the backpacks with the base pre-order. If you want all of them, you have to go up to the Heroic or Epic Edition.
Ooh.
Oh, God.
Now for some other things like, new encrypted Dragonkin pets, perhaps. Combining the likelihood of at least one of the two related encrypted pets being a Dragonkin with more work by Patford, I want to speculate that we might be getting a backpack, a pet, and a mount. Yep. Super speculative.
Makes sense.
But there was a not yet enabled or implemented pet species ID, which was discovered here over on the Twitter. And they do have these. Heroic Leap, Draconic Remedy, Ancient Blessing, Cauterized Flame Breath, and Trihorn Charge. I wonder.
Yep.
Now there's another thing. What is this, Towley? What is this, Towley? Okay, so we know it checks out because, of course, it is a phone photo of a monitor. Oh, that's how you know it's a true leak.
That font makes it look a little bit... We're talking like Morrowind level, like...
Yeah, that font is... That's not the font they use.
Nope.
No, so I don't think that's real. However, right, so... What does he say? Is this real? The idea might be. But it just seems like Anima Power window reshaped. We complain about systems not moving. Not moving to the next expansion, and Unleashed, pick whatever aspect. Pick whatever aspect, Covenant style you want, just to be from day one. Yeah, so there's a bunch of the leaks, probably fake leaks, who knows, that basically say that they're doing Covenants again, but for the Dragonflights, but with no player power. Certainly, I think that there's something we're going to have to say at some stage about this whole idea of let's just make 4 massive bits of content, but you only do one in your character. I feel like for many people, that just makes the end game that they can realistically experience feel a hell of a lot smaller. It's almost as if people want to experience that kind of like full end game on their main, but then their alt character is something that perhaps exists more for just gameplay options or maybe regrinding another class to play it.
Yeah,
so,
that's
interesting things.
That's definitely the thing where I feel like that's where a lot of people go, especially with like until they account wide reps. If they can account wide exalted reps, that'll be a decent step for people to play more alts. But right now, I think people are like, they like their main. Well, this is most people. Obviously, there are exceptions. Obviously, I know a lot of people really like a couple of different characters. But generally, I think people have one main. And I'm the same, where my Paladin's done so much throughout Mists, Warlords, Legion, BFA, and Shadowlands that playing a Druid, this patch makes me feel a little bit weird sometimes. Because I just look at the rep and I'm like, oh yeah, you haven't actually done that much as expansion. That feels a bit bad. So it's like, I think that's sort of the play pattern. I don't know if they identify, well, it's the usual thing of they see maybe people doing Covenant campaigns and alts and go, oh, clearly people like that, but they kind of don't because they're doing it for system reason.
Yeah.
I think, but yeah.
Yes, that is the bit that, I'm not super sure. Sorry, just looking at chat. Right, so look, this is almost certainly not real. This image, but, it's something that has featured in numerous leaks. All right, so what does this all mean? It means something dragon related is perhaps more likely. I mean, given that it's tied to a dragon effect, given those pet abilities and everything, I I really do think it's dragons. I mean, Blizzard even put... And now if they were doing red herrings, like if they were doing a masterful game of red herrings, they would just put that into their own site. They would use a bronze dragon as the banner image for their April Fool's Day joke.
Yeah.
You know, they would do all of those things. But they haven't really done that in the past. And I don't really think they would do that now.
No, it was even... I can't remember who it was. Was it maybe Caden, I think? Was saying like that's not a thing like anyone's ever done in terms of working in media at all. It's like that's not something he's ever heard of or seen. So I think that's a case of likely not. It'd be really cool. It's a great idea, but it just doesn't happen, especially not in companies of that size. Not at all.
Right, the expansion reveal stuff, all the info you need. So the next expansion is going to be revealed 9 a.m. Pacific time, 6 p.m. Central European Standard Time. April 19th. So next Tuesday, that is when we are going to be getting the big news, right? So, you know, what I would expect here is a full new cinematic, because they've tended to do those, you know, with the actual announcement event. The big question, though, is what is the format going to be? Because if you look at this, it says YouTube, Twitch. Now, with 9.2, they just dropped a YouTube video.
Yeah.
And... you know, that's one way of doing it, but is that really going to get all the hype? And more importantly, is it going to be in alignment with player expectations? Because this is the thing that I think their marketing people really have to think about. If they just do like a quick little VOD thing and then it's done, then I don't really think this would be a particularly successful event. Because I think what players really want, and the way that players feel right now, is there's a lot of ambiguity. They're not really sure about the state of the game. They really want to know what direction the game is going to be going in. I think there's just a lot of, I guess, actual fear and anxiety over it.
Yeah.
So I think what they need to do is, you know, get everybody to, you know, really excited with the big cutscene or whatever. But I do think there has to be like an hour-long dev, you know, deep dive presentation.
Yeah,
there has to be a Q&A. I think those usual BlizzCon trappings.
It needs to be that.
That's what would be ideal. I don't think we're going to get as much as we would get at a BlizzCon, though. I really don't.
Not as much, because we tend to get those
something.
We get those big panels and stuff where it's like, hey, you know, obviously we're not going to get like a Q&A and all that kind of stuff, but I think we will at least get a long targeted presentation. Especially the reason I'm thinking that is, the reason I kind of think it's definitely the case is because of what Jeff Liu had tweeted. That's his name, right? Yeah, the UI designer. Yeah, because Jeff Liu tweeted like, you know, this is what I'm looking forward to seeing, what I've been working on for the couple months.
That's a great point.
So there's almost certainly a case of we will get to see UI in-game, which means it's not going to be a cinematic and drop. It's likely going to have the feel of a what's next panel at BlizzCon.
Yeah, so we'll probably get that. We'll probably get the actual gameplay trailer, because usually you get those as a double whammy.
Yeah.
And then we'll probably get like a proper, you know, proper chat through it.
Yeah, but it'll be a lot more than this. I mean, you wouldn't have viewing parties for a YouTube video that drops. You wouldn't go to
actually,
that
shit, yeah, that's a great point. Yeah, like they even have here viewing parties at somewhere called Meltdown and Kappa bars in Europe. Interesting to know those existed. Neat.
Yeah, there's
we don't have them here.
Not here in the UK, but not here.
Yeah, people used to watch Dota at Lavery's, but I don't think that's something that happens anymore.
That was great.
Anyway, so that's pretty cool, and that's basically what to expect. So we'll probably get most of what we get at a BlizzCon, which means exciting, and probably they'll have a nice chunky stream for you tomorrow. Plenty of videos on all the channels and stuff like that to follow up on, of course.
Not tomorrow.
Not tomorrow.
We're not time
Tuesday.
travelers.
Whoops.
Yes. Yeah. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Not much crazy analysis to do other than there we have it. That's the situation.
Yeah.
So look, I'm excited. Okay, it's a WoW expansion announcement. I'm excited. I just am.
Yeah, it's that kind of I'm thinking about Wrath Classic. That's a thing where I don't know if they'll because if they want to make this a big event, do they make it a big event where, hey everyone, we're going to sit down and talk about the next expansion for an hour, then we're going to go in for an hour into Wrath Classic, or we'll get something else for you after and announce that kind of, because I don't think they need to talk too much about Wrath Classic. They just need to go. Here's the opening cinematic upscaled with AI and looking very nice. Here's the date, and everyone will just clap because it's Arthas, and rightly so. So I think they'll get away with being able to like fire that in as well. But I don't know. It's that kind of PR strategy thing where you're thinking, do you want to have this overwhelming torrent of good news, or do you want to, ration your good news so you can hit for hold the news cycle for a couple of weeks? I don't know.
For what they need,
Yeah.
I think it just has to be boom.
Yeah.
Now, the only thing that maybe could happen is maybe Wrath Classic won't be talked about tomorrow. Perhaps they will instead.
Of course it won't be
or
talked
not
about tomorrow.
Oh, I've done it again. Tuesday.
You're really excited.
Maybe they would hold it back for May.
Maybe.
The reason why I say that is because they might want to sandwich that in with the Warcraft mobile game.
Yeah. That
A
would
bit like Elder Scrolls Blades.
Yeah, I think that would only be if they don't have faith in the mobile game, which is the awkward part, where if they know ahead of time they need to sandwich the mobile game news, then why are they announcing the mobile game at all, I guess? But obviously it's because, if it's something that's freemium and monetizable for a different market, they'll have to do the same with Immortal, just without getting dragged through the mud by Red Shirt Hero.
They'll need a way to just come out the gate and be like, hey, here's a fucking great mobile game. It's not going to be full of bullshit. You should be excited about it. Look how cool it just looks.
Yeah.
And that's going to be, for this audience, a challenge. And I definitely say that. I think being somebody who is more welcoming of a mobile game than average, at least in the kind
Recently,
of
especially,
WoW skeptical crowd.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, because obviously, everyone can see exactly what, what Blizzard at their worst would think is a good Warcraft mobile game is just some form of Candy Crush that's designed to just squeeze money out of people. But then there's the version of it that's like, here's Diablo Immortal accepting the fact that it was announced horribly and terribly and is also still like a monetization trap for, the kind of Lost Ark style East Asian monetization stuff. It's like the game itself is, by all accounts, actually very good to play. So they can do that, but temper it for Warcraft and announce that basically they just need to go, here it is, it looks great.
Yeah.
I think that'll work, but I think that's more likely than it to be what people are afraid of ultimately.
Yeah, I think they know they're playing with fire. And from my perspective, I'm happy to play a game that's good on my phone.
Yeah.
Ultimately, if the game is good, then I'm happy enough. I guess. Dakor actually said here that they are recruiting class and combat designers and dungeon environment artists, which maybe suggests the mobile game will be pretty substantial.
Yep. Or
could be cool.
Or that could be. It depends on the stage of the development, because I would imagine they'd want to avoid a Diablo Immortal, which is here's the game. Oh shit, we won't release it for 4 years. I imagine they'll want the mobile game to be like this year, because that's what the call said, wasn't it?
I believe
this
so.
Year.
Yeah.
So I assume now. Obviously, it might just be like they're hiring up again for like post-launch content and stuff.
Yeah.
But there is to me, it feels like if you're hiring like senior designers for this and making it public for the first time, this might be like a further the second Warcraft mobile game, as opposed to the first one that's happening. Or it might be. Honestly, it's kind of hard to say. But there is at least a mobile game that is full of class-based combat and dungeon design and stuff like that. So we're, likely not a World of Warcraft. Well, maybe World of Warcraft Combat Lite. Because obviously how many times have people said, can we have a World of Warcraft arena-based game? Obviously they wouldn't do it pure PvP, but like a PvE version of that, where it's like, here's World of Warcraft combat at its finest, but downscaled and a little bit more accessible. Almost like Heroes of the Storm did really well.
Yeah, honestly, Crystalline Conflict, the way that it changes, I'm just going to have to talk about Crystalline Conflict for so much today, because the new PvP mode in FF14 is one of those fun things I played in maybe years.
It's incredible.
It's fucking incredible. It's insane.
It's so good. It's it's a thing where it's not going to replace, because obviously, a lot of people moving to FF from WoW because WoW's not doing so hot at the minute. A lot of their complaints are like, well, this doesn't feel quite as open and nice because there's no PvP, or there's no world PvP. It's not like a replacement for WoW PvP in any sense, but it is just a really super compelling, small scale PvP mode. And excellent.
The thing that it shows class design wise though, because if you take all the buttons a red mage has, which is loads of buttons, they condense it down into 4 core combat buttons for PvP. The PvP class or job literally plays differently. It's way more simplified down to be almost feel more like a MOBA toolkit, and it just feels fucking incredible. It's they've doubled down on all of the strengths of a red mage that makes a red mage cool. Yeah. So that shows that these kind of delicious, tasty reductions of a class that actually can,
Yeah,
can feel pretty damn good.
Yeah, I mean that's actually if people in chat have played Heroes of the Storm, let me know if you largely agree because as Mehmet and who's it, Nick said, it's like Blizzard's best game. It feels so good to play.
Yeah,
and I don't think I'll ever forget. I mean, I've played quite a bit of it, but maybe about a year ago, a little while after Valera was added, I remember hopping in and just doing some of the training mode with Valera. And I was like, oh my, this is a rogue. This is everything I want and need and expect from a World of Warcraft rogue, but with 5 buttons. How have they? This is incredible. I just remember thinking that, like, it's exactly what I was thinking about playing Crystal Conflict. It's this like reduction of just, here is the condensed form of the fantasy of playing this, but it's so much more accessible to get into than having to level a rogue and gear it for arena. Obviously, there's more complexity in World of Warcraft than there is in Heroes in terms of how you use your buttons, but it's just a great version of that.
A HOTS battle right would be so good.
Exactly, yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's the other comparison I have for Crystal Conflict. It's just, it feels a little battle righty, and you're going, okay, press button, queue up, game launches, in you go, have fun for a couple minutes with really like kind of intense stuff with a couple buttons. Great.
Yeah, no, absolutely.